Welcome to our review for this week. So, Gold Wealth, thank you for being here.
Thank you, sir.
And Pastor has always spoken to us about first fruit. If I remember correctly, sometime around 2008, he's been talking about first fruit. I have my opinion, but I'd like to hear what you think about it.
Thank you, Sister Ronke. Thank you, church, for having us this afternoon. Okay, the first time I heard about first fruit teaching wasn't in PSCM. And it was during my NYC, and it was a struggle. It was just the first time. And I was like, what's this preacher talking
Everything
about?
at once?
As in, just everything. Then I slept over it.
What verse? What chapter?
I don't even know.
You were wondering.
So, and I came to PSCM, and Pastor Joseph, with all compassion, with all passion and everything, was talking about first fruits. Wow. Then I knew I had no choice.
Okay.
I knew I just have to tap into it.
Based on the level of information available to you.
Exactly. I remember then I didn't really have much information about first fruits. But when Pastor came with it and he gave us a lot of materials on it, I got back home, sat on it, and I also want to tap into it. Okay, so the first time I was to practice this first fruit mystery, it was a big struggle. And how much was I earning there? It was just a peanut. Okay. But then I found it difficult to actually drop it. I had to split it into two, pay twice that year. The following year, a lot of human reasoning. You have to pay for this, pay for that, pay for this. I think I struggled that second year also. But I remember the first time I dropped everything at once. That year, I couldn't reconcile where I was coming from and what God did afterwards. And since that year was so unprecedented for me that it elevated me from where I was. Then, since that day, I realized that it's a mystery. It's not something you just sit and you reason with your human head. So, since that time, now it's become a usual practice. It's become a passion for me that the first fruits is even ready before the month of January. As I look forward to January with so much happiness, with so much joy, to drop my first fruit. And I've experienced that first fruit has been helping me with preservation. It preserves. Money meets money in my bank account. Unlike then, money meets, if I'm still thinking I need money, before you know it, provisions is made available. Preservation, no more sicknesses. Visit to the hospitals before. But now it's become a thing of the past. A lot of things. And that's why the Bible said, if the first be holy, the rest will be holy also. So, Sister Ronke, I'm sure you have a testimony to that effect also.
For me, it's non-negotiable. Well, just like you, I heard about first fruit for the first time here in PACM, and it was some kind of struggle, like you said. But Pastor encouraged us to go search, go look through it. And because I enjoy reading, I said to myself, let's see what this is about, and I have not recovered from it. First fruit for me is a mystery. I can't call it a commandment. I would like to describe it as a principle, and something you do and you just cannot tell where you are. You can't reconcile. You can't compare where your current state will be and where you used to be. For me, it's beyond rescue. There are some testimonies that I consider testimonies of rescue. I was by the road, it was about to rain, and somebody just came, gave me a lift. That's rescue. But when you plunge into things like this, you hear things like I was on the road and I was wondering what to do when I got a call saying, why did I leave my car at home? That car had been delivered a long time, and I didn't even know. In my life and my home, my business, I can't tell you the kind of things that have happened to me because of first fruit. I'd just like to put it around the power of mention. Last Sunday, Pastor talked about the power of mention. That's what I've always enjoyed. I just hear someone say, we've been looking for you, and then I get in there and they say, it's already in the bill. Just tell us what your charges are, and then you start. You don't have to submit proposals. I just cannot. Divine lifting to me is one of the many benefits of plunging into this. I looked at so many preachers' views on this and so many people's reviews. I also saw the book, The Mystery of First Fruit by Dr. D.K. Olukoya. I read the reviews as well, and I found out that giving your first fruit plunges you into a life of inheritance. You just separate yourself from the rest. The way the first is separate from the rest, that's how you are separate from every other person. You just become God's responsibility. I also found out somewhere around 1 Corinthians that God described Jesus as the first fruit of all those who are asleep. And then I found out that God demanded first fruit from almost everyone. He kept teaching them. In Leviticus, he taught them. Somewhere around Exodus, he taught them. He was mentioning it. He mentioned it again in Nehemiah. So it's something that matters a lot to God. It's something that God has chosen as his responsibility, and I dare say his priority. So first fruit is not at times I wish Pastor would take us to another level, because I
Another
feel
level,
we've
exactly.
done first fruit and this is
Honestly,
a kingdom practice. We've
honestly.
done it. We're all in there. Let's go to another
Something
level, because
much
I
higher.
consider the fact that we are privileged in this house. Pastor just wants to take us along, and he feels this rhema keeps coming to us on a yearly basis. So I want to say again that it's non-negotiable. It's not, forget about commandment. Should we do it? Is it denominational? All those are irrelevant. You want to be blessed, run for it. That's what I think about.
Thank you, Sister Ronke.
Yeah.
That's just it. It is non-negotiable. If you don't want to be left behind on this train, if you don't want to become a liability, just tap into it. Stop shortchanging yourself. Just tap into this mystery. Tap into it, and you'll be amazed at yourself. You will not be able to reconcile where you are coming from to where you'll be going. Because what God have in store for you is much more than what your human mind can imagine.
fathom.
Just tap into it, and you'll be amazed. Yes, this year has been our year of divine lifting. And one of the benefits, like you said, is
Just one.
first fruits will lift you from that dungeon, and it will set you on high with the princes. If you desire it, now we have set before you life.
Yeah.
We wish, we hope that you
choose
choose
it.
life so that you might live. But then, decision lies with you. If you actually want to follow the train, or you don't want to follow the train. Thank you very much for having us
Thank
this
you for
afternoon.
listening.
Nothing
Yeah,
will be
pleasure.
missing in your life. Nothing will be broken in your life.
Thank you so much.